Hello, this is Dr. Ashish Panchal, Professor and Head Department of Pharmacology, LJ University, LJ Pharmacy College. LJ Pharmacy College initiative a MOOC series program, and the today's topic is muscular system. So we all know that the muscular system in our body, in human body, there are mainly three types of the muscle. One is the skeletal, cardiac and smooth muscles. Here we are discuss the skeletal muscle. So the structure of the muscle fiber, each muscle fiber is bounded by a connective tissue and known as the endomysium. So the bounded by the connective tissue, each and every muscle fiber is bounded by the connective tissue and it is known as the endomysium. The bundle of muscle fiber is covered by the connective tissue and it is known as the perimysium. So this is perimysium. All the bundles are grouped together or they are bounded by the connective tissue and it is known as the epimysium. This is known as the epimysium. Each muscle fiber is lined by plasma membrane called the sarcolemma. As we all know that the cell membrane is covered by the membrane and we are known as the scale membrane. Same way, the plasma membrane of the skeletal muscle is known as the sarcolemma, and the fluid content present in the cell is known as the cytoplasma. In skeletal muscle, the fluid content present is known as the sarcoplasma. Endoplasmic reticulum, if the endoplasmic reticulum present in the skeletal muscle, it is known as the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and this sarcoplasmic reticulum store the calcium. This calcium is responsible for the muscle contraction. Also, these muscle fiber possess the light and dark band and they are made up of the actin and myosin filament. So now here we will discuss the ultrastructure of the skeletal muscle. So in ultrastructure of skeletal muscle possess the thin fiber, thick fiber, then I band. The thin fiber is made up of the actin protein and the thick fiber is made up of the myosin protein. I band is the part of the ultraskeletal, the light band. I band is known as the light band, or the I band possesses only thin filament, only actin protein, so it is known as the isotropic band, and these two are the I band. The second one is A band. The A band is the part of the skeletal muscle where the thick and the thin both the filament are present and it possesses actin and myosin both, and it is the dark part of the skeletal muscles. Then Z line. The Z line is the part where only thick fiber is present, only myosin is present, and it is little bit lighter than the A band. And H zone, it is also known as the Hansen's zone. Then M line. The M line is present at the center of the H zone where the two myosin filament are overlap each others. Then the Z disc or the Z line. The Z line, it is the zigzag line. It is present at the center of the I band, and this is the zone of overlapping where the actin and myosin, means thin and the thick, both the filament are overlapping each others. Sarcomere, it is the structural and functional unit of the skeletal muscle and it is present between the two Z line. So distance between the two Z line, it is known as the sarcomere. Now next part is physiology of muscle contraction. So before going to discuss the physiology of muscle contraction, we should discuss the motor end plate or neuromuscular junction. Now what is neuromuscular junction? The neuromuscular junction is also known as the synaptic cleft, or it is known as the motor end plate. It is the junction between the neuron and the muscles. A neuronal signal reaching to the nerve ending and the synaptic vesicles present at the nerve ending release the neurotransmitter. It is known as the acetylcholine. This acetylcholine bind to the muscle fiber and increase the influx of the calcium. Once the calcium level is increased, the excess calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum and muscles start to contract. Now look at here how the muscles get contract. So once the calcium level increase in the muscles, this calcium is bind to the troponin. Once the calcium is bind to the troponin, in the first step, the myosin head hydrolyzed the ATP and energized. This head will bind to the actin binding site of the myosin. So the myosin head bind to the actin and forming the cross bridge. This is the second step. Once the cross bridge is formed, the myosin cross bridge rotate towards the center of the sarcomere. Means it will pull the skeletal muscle towards the center point, and the H zone will be smaller or the shorter. And the last step, as the myosin head bind ATP, the cross bridge detach and muscles get relaxed. Okay, so this is the contraction of the muscles, and during the contraction of muscle, here look at here, the H zone, this H zone get smaller, or sometime if the muscle is fully contracted, this H zone is disappear. How the muscles get relaxed? The process continue till the calcium ion pumped back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Means once the excess calcium is again back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum, the masking of the actin filament, means the actin filament, myosin binding side of the actin filament is masked, and this causes the return of the Z line back to their original position, and the muscle get relaxed. The reaction time of the fiber can vary in the different muscle. The repeated activation of the muscles can lead to the accumulation of the lactic acid deposition, anaerobic breakdown of the glycogen, and the muscles get fatigue. So this is all about the physiology of muscle contraction and the ultrastructure of the muscles. So from this topic, the various questions are asked in exam, like explain the structure of muscle, explain the ultrastructure of muscle, write a note on the neuromuscular junction, and write the note on the physiology of muscle contraction. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe our channel Pharma Ignite. Thank you.